Week 1 of actually working on my giant wooden fidget spinner. First stop was Home Depot, of course. I'm there once a week minimum nowadays. My professor gave us a lot of info on different types of wood, their carvability, and how each type holds up for usage long term. Since this thing will likely be touched and spun a lot in its lifetime, I needed to use a quality hardwood. I wanted to be bougie and use maple, but I didn't realize it would cost like 70 bucks, so yeah. Poplar it is. Poplar is like maple's cheaper, generic cousin. First step was gluing the planks together. When you're carving it as one piece, it's better to use too much wood glue than too little. I used my ruler to spread it out, kind of like cake frosting, then clamped everything down hard, which of course meant that glue exploded out of the sides and got all over everything. This seems to happen no matter what I do, so I've accepted it as part of the process. Then it was time to use my giant model as intended, which is as a traceable pattern piece to know where I should cut out on the wood. Originally, I thought I'd have to chisel everything by hand, but I ended up getting access to the wood shop, thank God. No footage of the bandsaw because I was busy not cutting my fingers off, but here's what it looked like after I cut out the general shape on both sides. I sliced it cut out down the middle to get two long symmetrical pieces, which will overlap like a plus sign. After that, I used the rotary sander to clean up the harsh bandsaw edges, which started to give me some problems as soon as I got to the inner curves of the piece. My professor gave me this amazing tool to use called the Merlin. It's this tiny chainsaw looking tool that carves wood and stone. I'm obsessed with this thing. I need one for myself. Even though it was a slow and painstaking process that covered me in sawdust from head to toe, it let me carve out all those really intentional, soft, symmetrical curves that are super important to me for the final look of this piece. At this point, I realized the round edges looked way too flat, so I glued on some more wood to give them more dimension and shape at the top. Once the new wood was dry, I blended the shapes even more using a big chunky sanding bit on a power drill. It worked great, but it was hard to use for very long because the drill was heavy. I had to use a lot of arm strength to keep the sander from jumping back at me. I want the same bit in this size, but one that fits on a Dremel. I think that'd be a lot easier to use. In the end, I probably spent like 6 hours across a couple days carving, shaping, and then hand sanding all the little lumps and bumps that were left from the Merlin. I've only just started that part, but look at these pieces so far. They're starting to get so smooth and round and cute. I'm really happy with how they're taking shape. Next week, I'm starting on the middle X piece of the spinner, so follow along if you want to see how this guy turns out. This has been